Do-do-do-do-do-do. We're back
We are back
on the Redefined show. We're not just a podcast.
No, we're not.
We're multifaceted.
Yes, we are.
And we're back this week with an incredible episode. Today we've got my best friend Heather O'Reilly here.
No, my best friend.
Yeah, it's your
okay,
best
fine.
friend.
We can all be best friends.
Sure.
Yeah. So excited about this episode.
Yep.
Heyo is one of my best friends. We've literally known each other since we were 16. She was probably 15 at the time.
Where did you guys meet first?
National team camp,
Yep.
youth national team camp.
Where was it? It was middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere, probably.
Yeah.
Because that's usually where those camps
Totally.
were.
All the USA camps are in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's a World Cup champion. She has 3 Olympic gold medals. She won 3 professional championships for 3 different franchises. She won 2 national championships. She is a TV broadcaster for Fox Sports. She is running a Lake Como, the head of women's football there. She is a mother to 2 boys. But she is literally like the best.
She's a winner.
She is a winner.
Winners win.
Winners win.
Okay, well, welcome to my new best friend, Heather O'Reilly.
Heyo.
Hi, ladies. Oh my gosh, don't fight over me. There's enough to go around.
There is enough. Thanks for joining us on Redefined.
Yeah, thanks for that wonderful and generous introduction. I'm so happy to be here, Leslie, and feelings mutual. Just love you so much. And of course, want to support anything that you're doing. But also, I really, truly believe that this is important work to share the stories of some badass women out there. And we can all learn from each other, I think, even if it's just one little slight different mindset. I know I even listened to Rebecca Lowe a couple of weeks ago, and just hearing her story just it is really cool to just hear everybody's backgrounds. And if we can pick up something from each other, I think it's well worth it. So well done, ladies.
Totally agree.
Thanks, Hale. Yeah, we're I think it's sometimes like you feel isolated when you're going through things, right? And just hearing other people and also highlighting all the incredible things that you have done throughout your career. And for people to know, like, it wasn't all just shits and giggles and great times. Like the stuff that we all have to go through to get to where we're at is like the reason why we're doing this. So we just,
Hey, well, speaking of hard things, tell me about this hanging competition that you guys were together, because I saw a video online.
Hey, we were just talking about me being such a winner, and come on, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It might be the only thing that I've ever beaten you at.
Was this your redefining moment with the hanging competition?
Grip strength evidently is not my thing. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Kelly and Abby were so annoying. Like, just saying like, oh, this is an indicator of your overall like strength and health. And of course,
and everyone's like, really?
I was like, can't we just do those like grippy things? Or like,
sure.
Isn't us lifting weights enough?
Yeah.
So of course we have to like.
Well, I guess I'm dying first, so it's good that I'm early in this podcast
longevity test.
cycle, because it's maybe only a few more years for me.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. I was just proud to beat you at something, Heyo. I mean, did you ever lose a fitness test on the U.S. Women's National Team? Was it you and Kelly?
I think
like,
Kelly snaked me a few times. Even Tobin snaked me a few times.
Really? Toby got you?
I think so.
I love it.
I was probably low in iron that week.
What was your typical pregame meal while you played? And is it still the same now?
Yeah. I mean, are we talking pregame like workout now? Like what are we talking about now?
Yeah. I mean, it could be.
How about coaching?
Yeah. Or your media day appearances. Or when you're at.
Okay. Yes, I am a fuel girly. What can I say? I like food. I love some breakfast food. So
we love a good brunch.
We love a good brunch. So, I usually have like 2 coffees to start off my day. Some oatmeal. Oatmeal is like my vibe right now, because I think I like feeling full. I know that's a ridiculous statement. And I think a lot of people agree. That is a nice feeling. And so, I've been getting into the oatmeal in the wintertime, but pancakes, eggs, all the brunchy food. And as Leslie talked about earlier, I did fulfill a dream of mine by about 8 years ago, opened a coffee shop with a couple other couples So what a dream. I like always talk about loving brunch, loving breakfast food. And now I have my own place called Carolina Coffee Shop and a little to-go cafe next door called 1922, which is the year that the building was established.
What's on the menu that you influenced?
Banana pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm hungry now.
I know. We need brunch.
I know.
And I love when we were younger, Hale, we used to always talk about wanting to open a coffee shop. And you actually went ahead and did it. It's cool and it's inspiring.
Thanks. I'm super proud of it in the fact of like enough talk. You know, you could talk about dreams, you can talk about ambitions, you can talk about vision boards, you can talk about all the stuff. You sometimes literally just have to put one foot in front of the other and just fucking do it. Like open Google and put in, how do you open a coffee shop? What is the financials of a small restaurant? And what I kind of learned through that is like, listen, I'm not going to say it's like not hard because small business is hard and restaurant business is hard, but like, it's not hard to just educate yourself on like, okay, what are margins? What is revenue? How do I make the labor costs work? You know, things like that like seemed so out of my like sphere that I couldn't even like wrap my head around. If you just like do roll up your sleeves and you commit to it, you can learn a lot from the internet and from a Barnes and Noble outing, put it that way.
Yeah.
But it takes work and it takes commitment and it takes a willingness to learn and like to ask experts, right? Like, and you don't have to be an expert at everything. So I don't pretend to be, right? But there are people out there that are. And so if you want to do something bad enough, like just keep moving and roll up your sleeves and learn about it.
Has Belichick come and hung out there yet?
I was gonna.
She's trying to get him.
No, I'm gonna try to get him. Listen, I mean, quality speaks for itself.
You got to get him. You got to get him.
Excellence draws excellence, right? And so I'm sure if he hasn't been there yet, he will soon. But everybody around town is super excited about that, and
I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see what our football season, how it changes things around town. So we're pumped. I met him at a Christmas party a couple of weeks ago. I was very nervous. I haven't been that nervous in a long time to like say, I think I was just
when Hale gets nervous.
No, I was because I'm like a pretty quirky person already. So my MO is just to out awkward the other person because then they feel better about themselves. And then they come away from the interaction being like, I'm the man. And then they have this positive feeling about the interaction. And I'm just like, yo, I was so awkward, but whatever. So such
a strategy.
It's such a strategy.
I love it.
Such a strategy. Just try to out awkward them. And it's worked.
Is that what you tried to do to Belichick?
Yeah, right.
It was a heavy lift, but I think I won out.
Good job.
Okay. I have a good one for you, Heo. You have traveled around the world. We both have. You probably have beaten me on passport stamps, but your favorite place to play and your favorite place to go on vacation. Besides the beaches.
Favorite place to play. Oh, geez.
I know.
Gosh, there's so many. I think first I'm going to talk about favorite places because if this is a visual pod, there's some parts of it that are obviously clipped for socials and stuff like that. I am wearing a Como sweatshirt right now, which
funny, I couldn't see it.
It's
not very big.
And I'm repping hard because I am currently working with the team Como 1907, which is a football club in the Lake Como region of Italy. And I'm helping start their women's program. Their men's program has had wild success for the last 6 years. Classic story of rags to riches for this club that has climbed from Serie D, which clearly is the fourth division, up to Serie A, competing against, the giants like AC Milan and Juventus and Roma. And little Lake Como is hanging in there. So they've done it on the men's side, and now they want to do it on the women's side as well. So they're like, you obviously know some people and you've won some things. So we think that you'll be great. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. But two big problems. Like, my husband's trying to start a business here in Chapel Hill. He's in about year 6 of a startup. And we have 2 small kids, William and Jack. Will's 4 and Jack is 3 now. And I'm not moving to Europe right now. It's just not in the cards. Yeah. Maybe, I have a dream of like a little bit later when the boys are maybe in middle school or something. Like I would love to raise them in Europe for a year or 2, but just right now I can't get up and move to Italy. And they're like, all right, we'll do it remotely and come over about once a month if you can. And work from, obviously half my job is on WhatsApp and translation apps and stuff like that, working with this team and helping them put the right pieces in place. And then to play, I think I'm going to have to just go with the local. Like I live in North Carolina. I live in Chapel Hill. Obviously, I love the University of North Carolina. I'm really part of a lot of aspects to the university. So Fetzer Field was my college field. It's now called Dorrance Field, named after Anson Dorrance, who recently retired. So that might be like my most special field. I feel like, I don't know if you guys have those weird, magical, spiritual moments when you were it was late at night on the pitch, or maybe you were out there alone doing a workout. And I just really feel connected. And that place is really special to me. And I think it's the people too that I've shared experiences with there. But I'll go Fetzer Field and I'll go Italy as my favorite place in the world.
Those are great answers.
I love those. I have one of those moments beating you on your home field in 2003 to knock you guys out of the tournament. But anyway,
is she trying to take my favorite place?
I'm rolling my eyes right now too. Don't worry.
I'm talking about being, having spiritual moments, all this, and she's like, remember?
Sports is a religious experience. And she's like, it was a spiritual experience for me. Jab.
Listen, I don't have a lot of jabs, and I beat you in the hanging competition, and I beat you on your home field.
This podcast was a trap to get you to come on here, so Leslie could just go
feel
after
a little bit
you.
better about myself.
Yeah, this isn't the out awkward the other person. This is just a Leslie feel good special. It's fine.
Yeah, for 2 minutes.
No, I'm here for it. I'm here for you. That's what friends are for.
If you could sum up our styles, it'd be just Lycra, Lululemon. Yep. That's what I am.
Yep.
We can do it all.
We have to be able to move, and Lycra helps us move.
Yeah. It's flexible, but it also goes back to your shape very easily.
Yep.
The materials are high performing. You can just tell it's such good quality. And when I do put on something that doesn't have Lycra in it, I'm like, no, it's not going to work. As you know, we talk about redefining moments. Our show is Redefined. It's really what led us to this moment. And it's so funny, Heyo, because my redefining moment, the biggest one I've had a few, but the biggest one that shaped me was in 2008 when I tore my ACL and all my ankle ligaments. And you were there with me when I did that. But that was such a pivotal time in my life, as you know, because it was such a dark time, but it also forced me to figure out what else I was passionate about. What else would wake me up the way that soccer had woken me up my entire life? For Arielle, your redefining moment, being pregnant, having so many people tell you that you couldn't coach because of your high-pitched voice, and
coaching the boys is a different look for boys volleyball to have me coaching them. So, and this is very well as coaching 16, 17-year-old boys.
Yep.
So there's been a ton of redefining moments. Tearing my ACL is also a redefining moment. There are a lot of redefining moments. Do you have something that sticks out to you?
Oh yeah.
As your big redefining moment?
Yes, a ton of them. Well, I wouldn't say a ton of them, but I think there is probably 5 or 6, right? Of because you got to think there's probably some in your childhood. There's probably some in your college years. There's probably some in your in your retirement from your sport, right? Yep. So I think every season of life probably has these really influential adversities. And I think a lot of times we do focus on the adversities, right? Anson, actually, my college coach, who's a really influential person in my life, always talks about the never-ending ascension. Is basically everybody's life purpose is to just continue to get better and better and better. And what does that mean? That could be spiritually better in your marriage, better as a parent, better as a friend, better as a human being. You always should be seeking learning and improvement, right? But it's never an incline that's smooth, right? And so I put my own twist on it. that it's like the loops of life. Like you're heading towards up, but there's some times where you're like, whoa, this is, you're in the bottom of that loop and you're like,
Yeah.
You just got to have faith that you're going to come out of it again. But like in that moment, you're like in a weird place. And so I think one of the biggest weird places that I was at the end of my career, at the end of my national team career. So I was named as an alternate of the 2016 Olympics, which was difficult for me. It was very hard. It was not that surprising because it was sort of like how the year was going. I like wasn't used too much in the World Cup in 2015. So I just rolled up my sleeves and said, you know, you got to live, you got to go for this. I'm probably not going to make this Olympic team. It's quite a bit smaller. The writing's sort of on the wall, but like I just went for it. And I felt like I had a lot to offer to the group and it would be a disservice if I didn't at least try. So I tried, and was named an alternate and went to Rio, and it was very, very tough, right? Like, I mean, there's tough things in life, like other tougher things that people go through, like medically or like in your, you know, gosh, we've just seen these like fires in California. So like being an alternate at the Olympic Games and having a free flight down to Rio to like watch some soccer, I understand that it's not the hardest thing in the world. But for me, somebody that was part of this team for like half my life, it was very hard because it was, you know, I knew what was coming, and what was coming was international retirement. And what was coming was a changing of an identity for me, right? And I wasn't quite done yet playing soccer. Like I was a very fit person at that point, a good player. I just maybe wasn't like the top 20 in the country, right? So the question of, okay, do I want to fully retire? Do I want to play a little bit longer? So I decided to play longer. I used that as an opportunity. I closed things up with the national team, and I went to Europe to play for Arsenal, which was always another dream of mine, which I never really, I guess, was bold enough to do when I was on the US team, because at that time, as Leslie can remember, we were like very much encouraged to stay in the US. And I never really wanted to like, you know, it's an out of sight, out of mind thing sometimes with the national team. And I never wanted to be gone out of the US. But at that point, I was like, I want to play at Arsenal, this dream. What a wonderful club, living in London. This is, you know, kind of the cherry on top of my career. Like I've done everything else, right? And so I think the redefining moment is this time that I had in England, because quite frankly, it was a tough time. Like I think I was homesick probably for the first time of my life. I was lonely. Like my husband was back and forth, but he didn't move over there completely. As much as like the culture is very similar and like the language, all that, it's also like kind of different, and the weather is tough. And it was just like a very isolating period. And I think that I was grieving this like identity shift that I knew was coming, right? It wasn't there yet, but it was almost like I was like end of life, right? Like, and I know that sounds incredibly dramatic, but like it was as if I was dying, and I knew I was dying. And I was coming towards the end. And I think a lot of former athletes can probably agree, right? That like there is an element of a grieving process that goes on. So needless to say, like it was a tough time, and like I hit rock bottom. Like I experienced like the lowest of the low. But I think it was redefining in the fact that like I could have never like shown empathy for somebody that like had depression or like had anxiety before. I like didn't know what that was like. And I think that experience opened up like so much empathy and compassion for me that I think just made me a really better human being. And not that like you want those things to happen to you. Like it's awful. It's like a mental health like blip is like, it's awful. I wouldn't like want anybody to go through that. But like it's also like awesome because you come out of it like with like anything, so much stronger. So I always tell people like scar tissue is stronger than skin. We've all had our various injuries, whether they're like mental, physical, emotional. Like they're all different kind of injuries that I think you look back on, you're like, if I got through that, I can get through anything. And by the way, I'm a much deeper and more empathetic person now. So that was a defining moment, I think, for me. And also like that there's nothing to be embarrassed about, like with telling people about that or with saying like that you went through something hard. I mean, I think that like our conversations about mental health have changed through the years. So like now it's no big deal. But I think I was like very paranoid about coming back to play. And like, I didn't know who knew I was going through a tough time. And I was like, who cares? Like, and so I think a little bit, I shed a little bit of this self-consciousness of myself and just remembered like what's important in life. And those are like your freaking ride or dies, like Leslie, and it's your health and it's your well-being. And so since then, I feel like I've had a zero fucks given attitude towards a lot of things because like, who cares? Like, who cares if I try to start a television show and it fails? Who cares? Who cares if I try to open a coffee shop and like it's hard and it flounders and whatever? Who cares if I try broadcasting and coaching and this and that and like, and some of it works and some of it doesn't, but like, who cares? Like, just go for it. You like, if you're like literally like on the basement floor of life, like you have so much opportunity ahead of you if you can just like somehow peel yourself up or have people next to you that will like pull you up and say, I got you. Because remember, like when you had me a couple years ago, now I got you. And I just think that like surrounding yourself with community is so important, and do it in the good times because you'll need them in the bad times, you know? So that was a defining moment. I think I got like some snot like running down my face because I'm like still get emotional about it.
I know.
It's redefining failure is probably one of the most important things that could be done in this environment that we're raising our kids in too, because like the failure helps us so much, and it's so hard to see it when you're in it. As the failure, especially as an athlete, like you're told not to fail. You're trying to go for success this entire time, but the failure is what's really getting you over the hurdle of what's going on here. And so it's the redefining of the failure and figuring out how to weather the storm is something that I hope my kids are able to take. And I wish that I could have taken.
It's so hard even when you're, I totally agree, Arielle, because even I remember I was like, I was doing fine. I was with the Courage, the team that I retired with at the end. And I remember having like a therapy appointment, like after practice. And I was walking out of the facility and my friends were like walking out. They asked me for lunch or whatever. And I was just like, no, I have a doctor's appointment. I can't make it. And I was like being all awkward. And I was like, a gyno appointtment. And like,
that's better than therapy. That's less embarrassing than therapy.
Why can't I just tell somebody, right? Like, because it's still an evolving issue. And I think, still, especially in sport, because the mental side of the game is big, and you do need people to be confident, and you do need people to like be firing on all cylinders. So you don't want to like let on to anybody that maybe you're not firing on all cylinders. But in doing that, you're not firing on all cylinders because you're not being truthful with yourself and with you're not getting to the root cause of issues, and getting to the root cause of things is a very hard but very important process.
And it's about getting out of your comfort zone too. Like I visited you in Arsenal in London when you made that transition, right? And you were out of your comfort zone. You were in a new country. You didn't have Davey. You didn't have us. You had different teammates. And I remember it was a different dynamic there. And I remember you going through that, Heo, and I'm so proud of you and just how outspoken you are, because that took courage and bravery, and how much you have evolved since then, and how you look at things differently, and how you're much more outspoken and transparent about those things. Like, you wouldn't have learned that and gone through that unless you would have said yes to that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
I think just saying yes is huge. Thanks for bringing that up. When I'm saying yes person, I don't mean like being a people pleaser. I mean like, hell yeah. Like I got a DM saying like, do you want to be on American Ninja Warrior? And I said, oh yeah, fuck yeah,
Can we
I
talk
do.
about She texts us and is like, I'm going on American Ninja Warrior. I'm traveling to, where was it? Texas or Kansas?
Yeah, it was like Houston or something. I knew nobody there. I was just like, this sounds hilarious and awesome. And like, I'm going to be awful. Again, my grip strength, not great. And I was like 3 months after having the baby, and I fell in the water so soon. But I was Olympic ninja. I wore a red, white, and blue sweatband.
Nice.
And I started this USA chant before going on. And it was hilarious. And like, I'll tell you what though, like the amount of like business dinners that I'm at, and it's like, you know, you get chatting with people and you're like, talk about what you do. And yeah, like the Olympics, everybody loves the Olympics and talk about the Olympics and World Cups. But then when they find out that I went on American Ninja Warrior, it's like,
it's a crowd pleaser.
I thought you were going to say they actually recognized you for American Ninja Warrior.
Where are you from? I don't know. Where are you from? Oh yeah, you're on that show, American Ninja Warrior.
No, well, it was a short-lived appearance. It probably only lasted like 7 seconds. But my point is like, in general, just say yes. Like for some reason, my brain is wired the way that it's wired. And like, it is my job and like my offering to this world for me to use that gift. Else I'm not being my best self. And so if my kids can see me doing that and like I said, just rolling up my sleeves and like making some fun stuff happen and trying to like leave the world more joyful, that's such a gift and what I'm trying to do.
Well, you're a gift, and we are grateful for you. And an extra shout out to Davey, who's an incredible partner.
Bless up.
Who's supporting you and our incredible husbands that are allowing us to lead this sort of lifestyle, still be a great mom, a great wife, a partner, but also like encouraging us to follow our dreams still and have our hand in all these endeavors and that we're doing. I mean, it takes a support and village for us to be able to do that, and for our children to see us working hard and passionate at something. I believe that's the best gift I can give my girls.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you've said, Leslie, it's important to like, relationships are important and hard work is important. And I will always fall back to those as being like drivers for me, and good things happen.
Well, speaking of that, like hard work, obviously your dad was an athlete in college, like where that winning mentality, that hard work. So when I think of you, Heo, I think of you are one of the hardest working people I know. You are one of the most competitive people I know. Where did that start, and why do you think that started at such an early age? I know.
Speaking of like going to therapy and stuff like that, I mean, I think that like one thing that I've really learned about myself is that like your superpower is usually like it can be like your demise, right? Like think like Michael Jordan, the most competitive MF like in sports, right? Did it maybe lead to some challenges in his friendships and his relationships? Yeah, we've all seen these documentaries, right? So it's like, that's just an example. You know, after like competition on the field, it's a little bit unhealthy to be like so competitive. Like, what am I I mean, I guess like, you know, internally I'm competitive about social media or like what other people are doing. And like, so I have to like check myself, right? But I don't want to like hate that quality about myself, because it's also what's propelled me and made me great. Yeah. Right. So it just needs to be, I think, navigated in a healthy way. But I do think like I grew up in a bigger family. I have 3 older brothers. And I do think like there was certainly an element of like, I was getting some love and affection by being good at sports. And I liked that feeling. I was winning races when I was little. I was doing pull-ups at these like sport parks, and like everybody thought it was like awesome. And I was like the little sister that was like beating up on the boys, and like I was almost like shown off like a trophy kid. And that felt good, right? Like that built up this incredible self-esteem. That I was like, oh my gosh, I just have to like run real hard and then people like me. Like I can do that. Like I remember this, it's called the turkey trot at my town, like at Thanksgiving time, and every age group you run a race and you get a turkey at the end if you win. And like, so every year my family would all go and my brothers would all be in their respective races. And I remember the very first one, which must have been young. I'm talking like 3 years old, probably, Izzy and Jack and Will's age right now, because the parents were like at the other end of the line. And I can like remember this. I can like put myself back there being on the football field at my local high school, and us little like tots on one end and like the parents on the other. And I remember the whole thing. They said like, okay, a gun or a loud noise is going to go off. Like, don't be scared. Just as soon as you hear it, like run to your mom or dad. And like the gun went off and I just hauled ass, as Leslie like can imagine. It's like, I'm 3 years old. I'm just like crushing everybody else's souls, like throwing elbows and just like crushing it. And I won the race, and like my mom, I can still like remember the sensation of her like grabbing me and hugging me so hard and like yelling into my like ear, like, you won the turkey, you won. And she was like crying. She was so happy.
Oh my goodness.
And I guess that's that's a defining moment. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting extra love, even though it's not really, as we know as parents, but like in my little body at that time, I was like, people will love me if I win shit. And like, so I guess I just got to keep doing this.
Amazing.
I love it.
That's amazing.
Like, I can just see it too.
Yeah. Like, and so clearly you want to do more of that, right? Because you're like, it becomes 100%. Almost like an addiction. It's like you win shit, people love you. And like, so that's tough when you're not getting that as much anymore. And it's funny, like now with parenting, and oh my gosh, you guys know, like you get so many high fives when you're playing. You get so many good jobs. Like I don't get that many good jobs anymore. I'm not trying to be needy here. I'm not trying to be needy. But
we have a whole nother
like,
episode
as a parent,
on participation. Yeah.
As a parent, I'm not getting many good jobs. I mean, Davey says like, but like it's very thankless job. And even with like Como, like I love this role that I'm at. It's very challenging, but like I'm at the top, right? And like, so I think I'm doing a good job, but it's not like people are giving me high fives every day.
Yeah.
Like, and so
like, can we get some feedback around
life is not instant gratification anymore.
Exactly. It's not instant. I'm missing the high fives. I'm missing the like hugs after a goal. I'm missing the like,
bring it back. Let's try to bring it back.
Well, let me talk about this TST tournament really quick. If anybody,
let's talk about the TST tournament. Big news. Yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah.
2 days ago it came out.
And Carly's playing.
The tournament has expanded and Carly's playing. I thought you were going to announce that I was going to be involved in some capacity.
Leslie's coming back. She's playing.
But I've not gotten any official news yet. So I'm still waiting.
Okay. So we're over the getting injured playing soccer fear.
I would do that for you. And the Team USA winning back to back. I would do it.
Okay. Good to.
I know she's like taking in consideration.
We're in negotiation.
No, it's really great to know.
Go back to
it's really great to know. Yeah. We have the squad nearly set, but I'm going to take it into strong consideration.
Be an alternate.
yeah, exactly. She's like, you want to be like on the sideline, like assistant
team
coach?
Mom?
Yeah,
like,
team mom.
Team mom. What about a team mom?
Team mom.
We would love to have you in whatever capacity you feel like you want to give yourself. Oof. I have a spot in the Chicago Marathon. You want to do it?
What?
Yeah. I'm doing one a year. I told you this. I'm doing one a year.
Yeah, let's do it. We haven't done Chicago.
Chicago's this year.
Are you doing a marathon again?
I've wanted to. Let's do it.
Well, looks like you're doing a marathon.
I mean, I haven't done one since New York or Boston. Heyo, oh my God, I wish we could tell that story.
We can tell it. I don't mind.
Oh.
Poopgate. Leslie, I actually I give you, you've been a great friend through a lot of different things in my life, but the fact that you didn't run ahead in that marathon is actually so special to me.
I love you a lot.
Yeah. You love me so much. Arielle, I just ate too close to the race, and then I had to stop so many times.
She knows.
I feel like I heard about this when it happened.
Mile 2. Leslie, my stomach is starting to rumble.
Yeah.
And I go, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're
She
fine.
was like-
it's your nerves.
Yeah, we just
He was like
started.
trying
Yeah,
to-
we just
He was
started.
trying to say that it was like all mental, and I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but we're touching cotton like right now. Like that's not in my head. That's factual. And like,
And
I was just like, I gotta stop. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I feel better. And then like mile 6, I was like, yo, I'm sorry, yo, I gotta stop. So it was 6 stops, and like it probably added on maybe 10 minutes, maybe like
at least,
maybe around 10 minutes. And so
at least.
It was the difference.
You were like, I'm not stopping this early.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
And listen, guess what she had for breakfast? She had eggs, oatmeal, and like, what did you have? Eggs, oatmeal, and what? Or eggs?
I didn't read the like recommendations. I was just like, I need to fuel up. I'm a fuel girly. And
I have to get ready.
I thought that I had to get a lot of calories in there. And that's actually not what you're supposed to do, evidently.
All right, let's talk about your cute babes over there.
You got a 4 and a 3-year-old.
Yep. William and Jack. Will's the older guy, and Jack's, oh my gosh, my little, like, he would like run. He's just a little meatball. He's the little meatball. He's so tough. He's like the tough younger brother that wants to do everything his older brother's doing. And Will's a little bit more of the intellectual type, I think, at this point. Maybe a cross-country runner, maybe a swimmer. Doesn't really seem to be down with the ball sports quite yet, but I think he's young. I think he's fast. I think he's fast. We'll see. We'll see where things go. But they are the sweetest boys. They're smart. They're kind. And honestly, like, I think part of that anxiety that I was feeling about, this death of me as like an athlete, was because, like, yes, in concept, I wanted a family, but I don't think I was like ever like super maternal and like I love kids. Like, for instance, my like
same.
Yeah, it's like I never, when people are like, "Oh, my ovaries are exploding, I'm ready to,"
I was like, I've never felt that before.
I was like, wait, your ovaries are doing what? Like, no, like I want to like go. I'll go for a run or something. I don't know. Yeah, like, but like in concept, I wanted a family, right? And like I wanted my future with my husband, and like, but I just. The baby thing. It was the pregnancy. It was the baby. I like young kids. Like, I was an education major at UNC. Like, I love teaching. I love coaching. I love being around young people. But I think that the young infant thing was not my bag. And like, so I was scared. I think I was scared. I was just like, I don't know if this is for me. But I think, again, like, as we do, I rolled up the sleeves and I said, like, no, like, I want to do this. And I think I just was kind of getting over some fears of like, would I be a good mom? I think that there's an aspect of like a bit of a selfish and self-centered part of being an athlete. And I was like, kind of like, do I have it in me to like serve others? And so I think I was intimidated by the whole thing, but I will say this, I never thought that there would be anything better than being like a professional soccer player or like do that whole thing. Parenthood is better, in my opinion. I love being a mom so much. It has like far exceeded my expectations. And so, it's hard when people, cause you don't want to force anybody or have like overbearing conversations with somebody that's maybe on the fence about having children, right? Because, it's not really my place a lot of the time, but I guess I just want to like tell anybody that's like having doubts, like it is so incredible. And like, I was really scared and skeptical as well. And you just step up. It's like literally wired in you to step up. And you can put your own twist on parenting. We all have different twists, even the three of us that are like very similar in like a lot of regards. You just put your own twist on it. So you can do it. Anybody that's scared, you got this.
I love it. Should we do the weekly flex?
Yeah, let's do our weekly flexes.
Yeah,
let's we have a segment called the Weekly Flex.
Leslie. You know I love
yeah, right? The Weekly Flex presented by Lycra brand. We have to talk about ourselves and without any shame at all.
No.
Just like, this is what we did. We did something cool. Like,
and some weeks are big flexes. Some weeks
are small.
Can be small flexes.
Muscles, little muscles, like lots of little different muscles.
So, Hale, why don't you start us off with your weekly flex?
Oh my gosh, you guys will love this.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, this is very exciting. This week, I have a clean box. A clean inbox, because all
she was waiting for this. She was waiting for it. I could see it in her eyes. She could see it.
All month, I've had a very dirty box, and finally, I put the work in.
Wow,
and
you did.
My box is clean now. What I mean by that is I need to keep a clean email box. Else, like, I'm scatterbrained, and like I don't like not getting back to people. Like, that sucks. And I want to be like responsible and accountable, but it's hard work for me. It's like hard work to like stay organized, to stay on top of my emails, and to keep a clean box. But like right now, ladies, I have one and I'm proud of it.
I'm so happy for you.
Davey is rubbing off on her. So her husband, Davey, literally is the person who wakes up and literally goes through every email till he's at a clean box before he starts his day. Even on vacation in Italy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little obsessive. He maybe takes it to, which again, like, people's superpowers can also be their detriment. And he's got a little, I don't want to throw on OCD because he's not actually diagnosed, but you know what I mean. He's a little particular. Which is a wonderful quality, sometimes a detriment. And my scatterbrainness is a superpower because I can do a lot of different shit at the same time and do it well, but also can be a detriment. So, but right now I got a clean box, so I'm starting the year and I'm on a win streak, baby.
We're so happy for you and your clean box.
Yeah, I'm very happy and shocked, but I love it. Keep it going, Hale.
Thank you.
All year.
I'll keep reporting back on the status of my box.
Yeah.
Okay, Les. You got one?
Yeah, it is NWSL preseason time.
Okay.
Bay FC is started preseason on Monday. I'm going out to see the team tomorrow and just want to give an extra flex. Like, Bay FC's back. We're year two. There was so much around our inaugural year and being an expansion club. And we had all these expectations, I think, that we put on ourselves as a club, but also around the world. And just so excited to go into year two. And we're going to show our new kits coming up at Media Day, and just so proud that our team was #1 in the league in merch.
Ooh.
The merch is great.
I told you from the day one, I go, this stuff is good. It's good. It was very
branding's
cool.
on point.
The branding was vibing.
It is here. We're not going anywhere. And I'm so proud to be a founder and owner of this team. And the best part of my week is being around the players and the team. And so that's my flex. Go Bay FC, baby.
Go Bay FC.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
Year two.
So cool.
Arielle, what's your flex?
Weekly flex. We've got Stanford games coming up here. Yep. Stanford men's volleyball is in season. I have coached 6 players on the team.
Current team, 6.
I have sent 6 kids on the Stanford men's volleyball team to Stanford.
Wow. And what's the roster size? 10
roster
or 12?
Size, they're at, I want to say there's 18. So 6 of them are Beta Bay boys. And we are quite proud of the kids that we have sent there. Anybody that knows the process of getting into Stanford is not for the faint of heart. We have definitely had a lot of kids that have tried, and it is so difficult. So many things have to go right for you to get accepted to that school, even recruiting wise and academically and everything. And Stanford obviously tried to cut a lot of programs or however many years ago. And during that time, we had a team that was quite good. And so when they brought the teams back and COVID had been happening, we were, our kids were fortunate enough to be in the right position at the right time. And it was a really, really special thing. We had 1 kid commit, and then it was like, okay, we could have 2, and then 3 committed, and then it just and
now you have 5 of the team.
Yes, and we had 5 in one class, and then we sent 1 the year after, and so a good group of them are starting this year, and so I am proud mom in the sideline, just screaming for them. won their games.
Cool.
So that's my weekly
I love
flex.
that.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on Redefined. You were amazing. And thanks for being vulnerable and sharing your story. And we just appreciate you and proud of you, and keep up the amazing work. That's for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for becoming my new best friend.
Yes, besties.
My best friend's best friend.
Look out, Leslie.
I feel like we could have talked to her for like another few hours.
Well, yeah.
She has so much to share. And I think being so close to her, what I appreciated and what stood out to me the most was just like how vulnerable and transparent and outspoken she is now about her mental health issues.
Which I'm sure she didn't used to be.
No.
Yeah.
There was no sign of fear or adversity with her.
Because it was just go.
Yeah. I think with all of us, I mean, being on the U.S. Women's National Team and having that kind of pressure and that identity and that success, it's hard. And as we get older, experiencing what she did when she went to Europe at Arsenal 2017, it's like, how do we prepare ourselves and our children to go through those experiences, getting out of your comfort zone, having identity shift and all that earlier, you know? Also, though, did I just commit myself to running a marathon this year?
I think that you're going to Chicago.
Do you want to train with me and be like my 2-mile buddy?
You too?
No?
I'm a sprinter.
Okay. Well, maybe.
Like a good 400.
All right. So you'll go to Campbell.
Oh no, I'll go with you. I'll podcast the whole time while you guys run the race.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'll have brunch. You kidding me? Yeah. Like I'm happy to do it.
You'll send us off.
Oh, I'm happy to be a role player here, but I'm going to be the role that I want to be in. Thanks for making it all the way through with us.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you for listening to us. Redefined. Listen to wherever you listen to your shows and podcasts, Spotify, Apple.
Thanks for
tuning in.
watching.
Yeah.
Loving us.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.